you have enough to cover you if you're in a serious accident? Here to tell us what we all need to know is Joseph Brown with Accident Law Group. Good morning, great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever I talk to my insurance man, I kind of start thinking about other things because this policy, that policy, you'll need this, an umbrella. Joseph, what do we need to know? It's confusing.
It's very confusing. So let's talk a little bit about that. So uninsured covers you when someone causes the accident and doesn't have insurance. Underinsured is someone causes the accident but doesn't have enough insurance to cover your injuries. And liability covers you when you cause an accident and someone's coming after you because you made a mistake and caused an accident. You always want your uninsured and underinsured motorist limits to be the same as your liability limits. And that's important because the liabilities is usually the highest limits. So you want to keep those. If you're skimping, money's tight, things are tight right now, maybe you increase your deductible. Instead of $500, maybe you have $1,000. If you can handle a $1,000 deductible, increase your deductible on your collision so you can get more insurance. It's important. Some of the really things that are important nowadays is what's your house worth? I mean, people's homes have like really doubled in value over the last 4 or 5 years. So now you have equity in your home. So if you cause an accident, do you have enough insurance so that if you cause that accident, someone like me is not going to be suing you personally above your insurance policy to get you to pay for the injuries? And I've got a couple cases like that right now.
Gosh, okay, so when you say about the limits, I know about the deductible, but the limits, like on an average person, mom, dad like me, you know, driving, taking the kids to school, what limit should I be looking at, the money?
The minimum limits are $25,000. You go to the hospital, spend the night, you've eaten up $25,000.
Yeah.
Let's just say you have equity in your home. Anything over $250,000, someone could access if you cause the lawsuit. So if cause an injury and you're subject to a lawsuit. So you need to have higher limits if you own a home and have a lot of equity in a home or the home's paid off. You want to have higher limits, otherwise someone can come after that. And by higher limits, I mean, do you need a 250 and an umbrella or something like those lines to protect you? You may, if you live in an expensive home and you have that. But think about what you make it for a year as a salary. You should have at least enough to cover that and a little bit more. So if you're making 6 figures, you should have more than $100,000. If you're making $50,000 or $60,000 like the average person, you probably need to have at least $100,000. What happens if you get into an accident, someone causes it, they don't have enough money, and you can't work? You don't want to lose everything you worked so hard for because there's not enough insurance. And that's why protecting yourself is the most important thing.
And with your group, that's what you do, is help people in these situations.
Correct. So we represent people who have been injured in accidents, and we go after the individual who caused the accident to kind of get my client recovered. And I have a couple of cases right now where I've got very serious injuries. I got one man who passed away, and he left behind, you know, a wife and a young child. And she's a stay-at-home mom, and he's the sole provider. This individual has very small limits. They have like a $50,000 policy limit, and they have significant assets. So we're looking at suing them personally. We're actually in the middle of litigation and saying, you're going to have to write a check to this family because you don't have enough insurance, and we know you have the money to do that. And you don't want to be in that situation. You want to make sure someone trying to save money, this is not the place to save money, especially if you have assets you want to protect.
Such great advice. I had no idea, because I think $50,000, oh, that's a lot of money. Yeah. But in reality, that's, as you said, 2 days in the hospital.
Exactly.
Joseph, thank you so much for coming in and kind of helping us with this. And if you want more information, you can call the number on your screen or visit their website at accidentlawgroup.com.